All right, so let's begin and review what we're going to discuss today. First, I'm going to provide you an overview of BMT and some information on today's speaker. Next, we'll talk about the current state of online security. Then we're going to dive into using a password manager. We'll review the benefits, and you'll learn how to easily implement at home and in the office. Next, we'll review two-factor authentication. We'll provide info on what programs support two-factor, and we'll show you how to easily set it up yourself. And finally, we're going to hold our Q&A session, and then we'll demo a commonly used password manager program. So, who is Business Machine Technologies? Well, we've been in the IT services industry for over 25 years. We were recently named to the Channel Company's list of top 500 managed service providers, and we were ranked number 2 in New Jersey for cybersecurity by NJBiz and by the NJBiz readers. We offer a range of services to include managed IT, data and infrastructure solutions, IT support, cloud services, IT security, and IT advisory consulting. And here at BMT, client satisfaction is very important, and it's at the forefront of everything that we do. So now a bit about today's speaker. My colleague, Stu Smith, he is the Vice President of Business Development here at BMT. He's been with the company for over 23 years. He's a former senior network engineer and currently holds the roles of IT advisor and account manager. And Stu is a certified information security manager, which is a top credential for those who develop, build, and manage enterprise information security programs. All right, with that, let's begin the presentation, and we are going to start with the current state of online security, and I will hand the deck over to my colleague, Stu.
Thank you, Sue. I want to welcome everyone today. You should know you're taking the first step to making your online life not only more secure, but in many ways more convenient. Since you're with us, you probably have a feeling that your presence online isn't as safe as it used to be. We're going to take the next couple of slides to drive that point home. This infographic shows the number of reported phishing, ransomware, financial fraud, and compromised email systems for the years 2015, 2016, and 2017. As you can see, they're all up in 2017. Phishing attacks had the highest jump in 2017, and early 2018 reports show that this attack vector continues to be the most popular. Lastly, there was a decline in the number of businesses that reported losses due to cybercrime. Now let's take a look at data breaches. As we can see, all the big names are here. Target was the first, I think, that most of us remember. Then Home Depot. It took many years for the Yahoo breach to be disclosed, and even then it was initially underreported at 1 billion accounts. We only learned late last year it was all 3 billion accounts that were compromised. If you had an email account and password involved in any of these breaches, that information is now available to hackers on the dark web. At BMT, we joke, it isn't the World Wide Web any longer, it's the Wild Wild Web. So what's at stake? Your sensitive information. The most obvious is online banking. It's straightforward. Hackers can transfer money out of your account if they get access to it. Email accounts. If you've gone paperless with any of your utility bills, then you're getting PDF copies of those bills in your inbox that has your address and other personally identifiable information. Photo storage accounts. There are reports of hackers blackmailing people with the release of compromising photos that have been stolen. Cloud storage. One of the benefits of cloud storage is its resiliency. You don't lose data in the cloud due to a hard drive crashing, laptop being stolen, or natural disasters such as fire. Because of this, people store important documents there. Medical records portals. More and more healthcare providers are putting your information online in portals. They have taken steps to protect this info, but no one can protect against poor password practices. And finally, your identity. Hackers can use information stolen from any of the above to steal your identity and open credit card accounts in your name or falsify tax returns. All this information is kept safe with a username and strong password. So let's review the best practices for password management. Here are all your password don'ts. Don't reuse for different accounts. That's the biggest takeaway we'd like you to have. If your account was involved in a breach, again, that username and password is out there. If you've reused that for different services, hackers have that information and can use it to log into different services. And as we learned with Yahoo, it can take a couple of years for the breach to even be disclosed. So you can never be sure if an account that you have now has been breached. So by using unique passwords for every account, you'll be in good shape. The rest of them, don't use your login name, don't use a sequence of repeated characters. Those are all pretty common, I think we know about. Don't share. Passwords are supposed to be secret. The minute you share them, they're no longer secret, and you can't be sure who else might know it. And finally, we've heard people storing them as contacts in their email and in a spreadsheet called passwords.xls. So what should you do? So here are your standard password recommendations. Use a unique password for each account. Think length. Make sure it's 12 or more characters. And complexity. Add punctuation marks and symbols throughout it. So the average person has 23 or more online accounts. So 23 long, complex, and unique passwords that you have committed to memory? Well, that's pretty impossible. Unless you're the amazing Kreskin or Rain Man. It's a wonder most people don't practice good password management practices. The term is a little dated, but there's an app for that. Yes, help arrives in the form of a password manager. A password manager is a tool, most commonly a browser add-in, that helps you manage your online passwords. A password manager will become your digital assistant. You'll wonder how you got along without one. Let's take a look at some of the features and benefits they provide.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the password manager, and again, we'll review some of the benefits, and we're going to show you how to easily implement these at home.
Okay. So a password manager not only addresses the challenges presented by the do's and don'ts password guidelines, they also safely store your password using advanced encryption, and they can help automate the sign-in process for you. The benefits: you don't need to remember multiple passwords for different accounts. You only need to remember your one master password. Because of this, you can create stronger passwords and use them on all your accounts. Therefore, security is improved significantly. And finally, a significant benefit here is you're not only more secure, but now you have quick and easy access to all those secured accounts. So let's step through installing and using a password manager. We're going to be using LastPass for this example, but the process is similar for most password managers. The password manager is a browser extension. They're supported in all the major browsers: Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge. You'll want to head to the password manager download page, install the extension in your browser, and after the installation is complete, you'll create an account. As you can see here, I've got to provide an email address. I'll create my master password and click Create an Account. You want to make sure your master password is strong. Use mixed case and include numbers or symbols. Make sure it's at least 12 characters long. The longer, the better. Write down this password and keep it on you with your credit cards, driver's license. After a couple of weeks, you'll remember this password, and you can store the password at home in a safe place. So let's take a look at a password manager in action. With a password manager installed, anytime you log into a site that isn't already stored in your vault, the password manager will prompt you to save this site. As we can see up here, LastPass is asking, should we remember this password for you? You can take an hour to log into all the sites you regularly sign into, or you can go about your business and over the course of a week or month, let the password manager capture all your passwords. Many browsers offer to do this natively, but their methodology is proven at times to be insecure. The browser programmers are coding for speed and features for market share. Too often, security doesn't get the attention it deserves. A password manager does one thing. Their focus is on keeping your passwords secure. Next, we'll step through the login process when using a password manager. Here we can see the password manager automatically fills in my username and password on next login. All I have to do here is click Continue and then sign in, as the username and password has been filled out for me. And we can see LastPass browser extension up here is letting me know it has one password for the Amazon site. If there were multiple passwords or accounts that I had for this site, I could choose right in the box here. There's even an option to automatically log you in as soon as you're at the site. For low-value accounts, you may want to turn this on. For sensitive accounts, you may want to check your surroundings before you log into a website. So now that we have an easy way to sign into our websites, let's lock them down with a strong password. So all we've done now is saved your current, most likely weak or reused passwords as we've logged in and had LastPass remember them. To secure them, we need to change them. So you'll want to navigate in your browser and for example, here we're using Amazon. We would go to your account, log in security, change password. And when we're here, we'd have to provide our current password again. I can come up here to LastPass Password Manager and right-click, and it gives me the option to copy the password. So I'll paste that in the current password field. And there it is. Next, I'll come up to LastPass and I'll right-click and I'll choose Generate Secure Password. This is the process I use. As you can click Copy Password and then right-click paste, right-click paste. They do have this Use Password option down here where it will automatically fill it in for you. But I find the copy password process works the best. And there, success. Amazon has reported you've successfully modified your account. And LastPass has this notification that pops up asking us if we want to update the password. So we'll click Update there. So once I've done that for all my accounts, you can see here in the password vault, there are well over 23 accounts managed by our password manager. They all have unique and strong passwords now. The vault is stored securely in the cloud and syncs to each PC you use each time you open the password manager and sign in with your master password. Most password managers also sync to an app on your phone or tablet and bring the same convenience there. You can also use a password manager to store secure notes. Some examples here are family health history, children's social security numbers, and if you're like me, the combination to the bike lock you use once a year on vacation. Originally, I started using a password manager to secure my accounts. Now with the auto login feature, I find I primarily enjoy the speed and ease at which I access these accounts. No longer am I stopped in the middle of my workflow to start a password reset process by waiting for an email or trying to answer 3 security questions I set up years ago. So there are a lot of benefits to using it, and there's one hidden benefit, one that could save you from a phishing attack. So let's say you fall prey to a phishing attack. You've clicked a link that urgently directed you to change your banking password due to a data breach. So right here is a fake website where hackers trying to get our online ID and passcode. But wait, our password manager hasn't done its job by letting me know it has a password for this site or even automatically logging me in. So what gives? It gives you an opportunity to pause and reevaluate. And there you would see that this is not really Bank of America, but a spoofed website, thereby saving you from the phishing attack. So, what are our best practices and recommendations for using a password manager? Well, getting a password manager set up can be a chore. Logging into all your sites and changing your passwords can take several hours. So we recommend when you're filling your password manager vault, just take your time. Add a couple of accounts a day, start with your most valuable accounts and change those passwords to make them secure. But if even that seems daunting, just install the password manager and have it start learning your passwords in the background. You'll start to enjoy the convenience and ease of use that it brings. And then after you're comfortable with the program, then you can start changing your passwords. We really want to encourage you to just get started. Another recommendation is to install the Password Manager mobile app. At the very least, you can look up passwords and type them in when you're at a guest computer. You'll also have your secure notes with you on the go. Protect your password manager with two-factor authentication and location awareness. And all the password managers support those features. Two-factor authentication we're going to get into a little bit in the second half of this presentation. The location awareness just means when it sees you log in a new browser, it has you sends you an email to authorize that new browser.
All right, now that we reviewed using a password manager, let's talk a little bit more about two-factor authentication. We'll review which programs support two-factor, and we're going to show you how to set up the program yourself.
Okay. So, what is two-factor authentication? The most common forms of two factors are something you know and something you have. While this may seem like a new concept to people, we've been using it since the 90s. To get money out of an ATM, you use two-factor authentication. You know the PIN and you have the card. In today's digital world, the most popular type of second factor is an authenticator app on the phone. When you log in, the phone prompts you to approve. As you can see, all the major tech companies support two-factor authentication capabilities. Amazon and Google call it two-step verification. So what makes it so secure? For example, if you have a username and password, but I don't have your phone, I can't access your account. Let's take a closer look at some of the authenticator apps. An authenticator turns your mobile device into the second factor. As you can see, most of the developments in this area have happened in the past few years in response to growing cyber threats. Google was ahead of everyone here with the first authenticator app available for Android devices in 2010. Because of this, most apps are written to be compatible with Google. So if your website that you're trying to secure with two-factor authentication says they support Google, you can use any of the Google compatible authenticators. However, if you want to enable two-factor authentication on Microsoft services, you'll need to install their authenticator app. How do you set up the authenticator app? Well, that's easy. You download the authenticator app to your device. You would head to the website and enable two-factor authentication for your account. You'd open the app on your device and scan the QR code presented on the page using your phone camera, and then a numeric code would be generated by the app, and you'd plug that back into the website. and you're done. And we'll walk through this step by step. So here you can see we've got an example of the Microsoft Authenticator in the Google Play Store. Authy is a compatible app that it's also not only in the Play Store but in the App Store. So you'll open your App Store and download your app. Once you've opened the app, you'll need to set your account up. In setting it up, you'll provide a cell phone number and an email address. You'll then verify the account with a phone call or a text. And a registration code will then be texted to you, which you'd enter in. And that would link the service with your exact phone. So now that you have the app on the phone and it's all set up, we'll look at how to enable for both Amazon and Google. First, Amazon. Again, in the Amazon website, we'll go to Your Account, Login and Security, Advanced Security Settings. And you can see, again, they call it two-step verification. I have it enabled in this screenshot, but this would say Enable, so that you would click Enable to enable it. For Google, we would go to Sign in Security, and then down here to two-step verification. Again, we would click to turn it on. In both cases, the website will display a screen like this. Configure your mobile app. So you'll open the Authenticator app on your phone if it isn't already. You'll click to add a new account in the app, at which point you'll hold your phone camera up to the screen to scan that QR code. The minute the app sees that QR code and focuses in on it, it's going to generate a code, at which point you'll enter that code back into the website. And that's all there is to it. The next time that you sign in to that website and you have two-factor authentication open, you'll either get a pop-up notification to approve the login. So this will come down, approve sign in. Just click approve on your phone. Or the developer may not be that sophisticated and not have notifications enabled, in which case you would open your app and retrieve the 6-digit code that's in the Authenticator app, and there'd be a place on the website that you could plug it in. But without plugging in that code or approving it on the phone, you won't be able to sign into the website, even if you have the username and password. And that's, again, what makes it so secure. So let's look at the process with our Amazon login again and see the third step added by the two-factor authentication. You can see the password manager's already put in my email address, and now it's auto-filled in my password. And here's the third step. On Amazon, it's asking me to check your device for a push notification. And I can just click approve and I'll get it. If for some reason I didn't get that push notification, I can open the Authenticator app. I can find the code associated with Amazon. I enter it here, and then I can sign in. So that's the third step. So what are our two-factor authentication best practices? Well, we recommend you choose an Authenticator app that allows you to back up your accounts, like Authy or LastPass has one. If your phone is lost or stolen, you can install the Authenticator app on another device, and in doing so, all of the accounts will automatically be restored. So you have a way to get in your accounts even if you've lost your primary device. Now that your phone is such a critical part of your security, we recommend you enable your phone's lock screen and remote wipe abilities. That is now a key part. And finally, a note on text, using text as a second factor. You'll get a lot of services now that are jumping on two-factor authentication, and they're doing it through texting. That 6-digit code is texted to you, and they're not really optimal. Firstly, the data travels over the carrier's network unencrypted. If someone is listening to that data, they can get your code. Second, hackers have been known to call carriers and get your phone number assigned to a device in their possession. And therefore, all the codes would be going to their device instead of yours. So they could take over your accounts that way. Now, those are pretty advanced methods. You need to be kind of targeted to do that. But hackers are doing it more and more because it can be very lucrative. If they can get into your bank account, they can get money. I guess a final note that's not on this screen is be careful then about publishing your phone number on social media sites because that gives the hackers what they need to take it over.
All right, well, that concludes the presentation deck. So now we will unmute the call, and we encourage you to ask any questions. Then we'll have the Q&A for about a minute, and then we will start our password manager demonstration. So.
Yep, so does anyone have questions? No questions? Okay. Well, we'll go on to the demo portion of our presentation. We also have some links here. If you'd like a copy of the deck, right, you can ask us for that. And we have all the links in here to password manager reviews and two-factor authentication apps. Also, if you want to consider upgrading your master password, you can consider using a passphrase, and there's more on this article here. Okay. And here's the article. So I'm going to go open Chrome in this case. And firstly, you could see LastPass is up here in my browser as an extension. And it is dark. That means it's not active. So I need to sign in. And here I'm going to use the passphrase that I talked about. So I'm protecting my account with two-factor authentication. So I need to approve this login on my phone. And I'm opening the password manager app, authenticator app, and clicking approve. As you can see, there was an option to trust this computer for 30 days if you don't want to have to do that every time you signed in. And let's browse to a website. So here you can see LastPass knows it has a username and password stored for this account. And I was signed in already, so let's sign in. You can see it's automatically filling it out for me. And again, I got a push notification on my phone. And there, I'm into Amazon, quickly and easily, with a very strong, secure password. We can do another. I have American Express configured to just log in automatically. So you'll see pretty quickly it fills it in. logs me in, and I'm into American Express. And we can now take a look at my Password Manager Vault. So you can see I have all my accounts safely stored in here. They're all secure. What I want to show is secure notes that you can use. There's the bike lock, my father's safety deposit box, my son's driver's license number, code to the front door. So it can really be handy to have this information with you available securely through the Password Manager application on your mobile device. And you can launch them from here too, if you want to. You could say, what's a good one? Oops. Let's go back to sites, and you can click launch. Oh, and you can see down here it already filled it in for me. Oh, nope, that's the Join Now page. Here's the sign in up here. Now I have it turned on, two-factor authentication for LinkedIn. And you can see LinkedIn is going to, they automatically do this for you. They only prompt you one time with a two-step verification. Otherwise, they're going to, by default, recognize this device in the future and not ask you to verify it again. So you have to unclick that if you keep wanting to use two-factor authentication. Keyboard is not cooperating. But, well, so you can see without putting anything in, I'm not going to get in. So even knowing my username and password, there's no way to bypass the second step. So that's a good demonstration of how secure it is. Okay, is there any questions?
Anything?
Does anyone have any questions?
All right, well, that concludes today's presentation. Again, thank you for joining us. If you would like a copy of the deck, please just, or if you have any other questions that you think of after the call, please reach out to us. I will follow up by email, and if you'd like a copy of the presentation, please just let me know. And that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks again for joining us.
Yep, thank you.